one.
Hey there guys, what's going on and welcome back to our channel. SpaceX and NASA have come head to head when it comes to space technology. They work day and night to develop a future for space travel, but the companies are both rivals to each other. Although working together would help them come up with a revolutionary idea, the two work separately and launch different projects. But news has it that SpaceX is better than NASA in many aspects, but how so is the question. Here is how SpaceX bested NASA at space travel technology. Humans have existed on planet Earth as long as we can remember, for millions and trillions of years. Due to this, it's fair to say that we know our surroundings and are aware of how we must live in it. With evolution and natural selection, the best of us have survived and have adapted to the living conditions on this planet. Despite living on Earth for so many years, about 80% of the entire ocean remains undiscovered. Is this not a staggering piece of statistics? But the reality is, we know even less about space. Humans have yet only discovered less than 1% of what lies beyond this planet, probably less than a fraction of it. Given this situation, there are two companies that have evolved enough to lead the way for future discovery surrounding space. These companies are, of course, NASA and SpaceX.
Holy fuck, that thing took off.
Oh my god.
The National Aeronautics Space Association was brought to life in 1958 by Dwight Eisenhower. His aim for the organization was to promote activities in space that were going to be for peaceful purposes and the betterment of the entire mankind. Over a decade later, in 1969, the first ever rocket launching man into space named Apollo 11 was released from the planet. The successful moon landing made history and paved the way for future discoveries. Decades later after this, Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, came into the picture. He created SpaceX with one goal in mind: to colonize Mars. Musk made it to be the richest man in the world at the beginning of this century. Having achieved so much fame and recognition, we know the big man is up to something. On many occasions, Musk has stated how humans must be prepared for extinction on planet Earth. Given how fast the Earth is running out of resources due to overuse, the day isn't far away when all of it will be exhausted. So, man must be prepared with another planet to settle on if any such things happen. NASA and SpaceX share the same interests, but their goals are worlds apart. NASA aims to increase man's knowledge of space and discover what is beyond us, while SpaceX wants to utilize otherworldly resources that might come in handy if humans want to expand out of their planet one day. NASA is a government-funded entity that arguably has more flexibility than a private company. This is because the taxpayers' money can be used anywhere. The organization is currently best known for its International Space Station. Launched in 1998, this project was a joint collaboration of 5 countries. About 1/3 of the company's entire budget is devoted to its science arm. This includes research in planetary science, earth science, laws of physics and astrophysics, and of heliophysics. Other successes include a pair of space probes referred to as Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. These have reached as far as Neptune. They did the unthinkable. In 2012, Voyager 1 was able to go beyond the heliosphere, a colder and much denser area in space. Voyager 2, on the other hand, crossed the boundary and is 11 billion miles away at the moment. They are also working on the Artemis program that hopes man would land on the moon again in 2024, making them one step closer to Mars and its exploration. Their aim still remains the same: get more knowledge about the planet and not make it livable, which is SpaceX's department. As compared to NASA, SpaceX is still in its infancy. Privately owned by Elon Musk, it's arguably harder for such a company to survive in competition with an internationally recognized organization. For SpaceX, Cash flow is everything, and for Musk, striking the right deals with other companies. Currently, the company runs 2 rockets, Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. They want to transport people into the far and beyond, not just for knowledge, but for settlement. Dragon, a different type of reusable cargo spacecraft, was launched into orbit by Falcon 9. Another type is a massive vessel that can carry payloads into space. This starship, in particular, was developed with the company's ultimate goal in mind: to colonize Mars. It is hoped that one day this vehicle would transport regular people to the planet to form a colony of inhabitants. Besides this, the company has recently started working to launch its Starlink services. These will be small satellites in orbit that will provide fast and efficient internet access to everyone, even in the remotest of areas. One of the biggest reasons that SpaceX was able to go far beyond NASA in space exploration and technology is its ultimate aim. Everything they put their hands in is for making Mars livable, and they bring both their knowledge of space and their livability on Mars into consideration.
That thing took off.
Oh my god.
Despite their differing aims, the companies work together on some projects too. In 2011, when the Space Shuttle program came to an end, NASA didn't have a replacement, partly due to the extraordinary costs involved. This is where SpaceX came to the picture. The company continued to make history with the launch of its Dragon going towards the ISS. This was the first time a company had ever interrupted in NASA's operations. SpaceX was also the first ever company to send NASA astronauts to the ISS, and this was all done within the company previously. At the time and now, NASA is practically dependent on SpaceX for their astronauts to get into space. In addition, the company often contacts Musk's entity to fly cargo to the International Space Station. The relationship between both organizations is complex that explaining the specifics would take weeks for you to understand. Regardless, they work together for projects and are reaching milestones on the road for what they've aimed. They become so reliant on one another that it's unlikely they're going anywhere soon. Although NASA might have helped SpaceX stand on its feet, the latter seems to be more famous now given its CEO's position in the world and his other ventures. For NASA, to arrange funds can be difficult, but for SpaceX, it's all in Elon's hands. They are on the road to a cause to create other planets habitable for humans, and in this, they'll need all the help they can get. Their aim to colonize Mars is what brought them to fame, and they continue to grow with the support they have. Both the companies are in extraordinary missions to get to know what lies beyond the world, and their discoveries never fail to leave us in awe. So do give us your thoughts regarding all of this in the comment section below, and whether you think SpaceX will surpass NASA eventually, or that NASA will remain as it is and be the better known space company of the two. And before we get out of here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you want more content like this in the future. And with that, I'll be catching you guys later in another video. Bye now.